Happy Sunday everybody, and greetings from the workshop again. In front of you, a big update on the 1977 Kawasaki Z650 B1. So, the auto elect was in this weekend. As you can see, panniers have been fitted, or at least the bases have. This means the electrical system is done. It is completely finished and working. So, we now have a situation where we've got a regulator rectifier combo installed. The correct wiring is in for the generator, it being 3-phase as I mentioned in the previous video. Neutral switch, this one is not used anymore. That would be for a separate run from the battery terminal, but because we have the reg rec installed, we don't need that. We'll convert that into a single connection, so basically this moves up to here off the battery, and that's done. So we've started zip tying all the cables in, all the wiring, get the cable management done. Andy next door needs to fabricate the bracket for the lights and sirens here, and then the brackets for the lights on the front. So bright work has been fitted. We've got the reproduction screen coming from Eagle Screens, shout out to them in WA, so very happy with that. And things go clickety click, etc., etc. once we turn things on. So if I just temporarily hook that up, we have idiot lights, etc., etc. So I'm very happy that we've resolved this, sort of figured out what was going on. It was a combination of a number of different things, different wattage globes in here that just over the years have been changed out incorrectly, earthing problems which are very common on this bike. The combination regulator rectifier situation, that's all done. We are now at a point where this is if I put fuel to it, it's a running bike. Cable management in here, side covers, you'll probably see badges waiting to go on there. So these are used, so we'll get some new ones. And the dress up kit, so all the bright work, things like the Allen bolts here and that sort of thing. We have a engine mount kit coming, so that's nice new shiny bits for this. And then Andy next door needs to make the brackets just like he did on the 78 Z1000 A2, the brackets to hold the sirens, and this just gets a pair of sirens. So good progress here. All sorts of things that are coming to completion, so I'm very happy about that. Next up in this one is the 77 Z1000 A1. So again, our auto electrician was in being busy, and you can see there's a few changes down here. The carbies are fitted now, just temporarily. Throttle cables, there's a pair of them that run from here to the handlebar are on order. They'll be here midweek. The wiring is all done, that's why it's untucked from up here, but this all works. We've got a reproduction switch coming, so I can pinch the little lever out of it. So that guy right there always snaps off. So that's literally the only reason I need this, is just to pinch the lever, swap the guts out, and put the little top on there. Everything is working on this bike. Rear brakes, as you know, are fitted. We attempted to fit the exhaust and realized didn't have the exhaust collars, so annoying, but did fit the kickstart. We've got a new rubber coming for the kickstart. So this is an original Kawasaki part. We've just had it re-chromed. Reproduction cover on there. That's going to get a polish out because it's the only one I've got. That's the brake lever, and then on this side again the electrics are all over the place, but that's the chromed gear shift now permanently installed, re-chromed. Starter motor cover is installed. Obviously this is just set temporarily like that. That's the choke. We have an air box that will sit right here. It's an OE air box, and then we have the air intake, or snorkel as it's lovingly referred to, that will sit there. And then all we're waiting for is the tank and bodywork, and this is a very simple bike. Just a ducktail in the back here, 2 side covers and a petrol tank. So this isn't a police bike. Still remaining in terms of service obviously is to fit the headlight. All the electrics are done, but it's literally just snapping in the headlight, securing it with 2 countersunk bolts here, obviously after you make the connections, and then put pistons and seals in the calipers, bleed the brakes, adjust the clutch, and she's out the door basically. Oh, fit the clutch lever of course, because you'll need that. So this one's very, very close to being done. So the owner came over on the weekend and was happy, and happy is a good thing. So lots and lots of progress on this. The usual service stuff, you know, oil in the forks and all that sort of rubbish. So we do that as a matter of course, and usually I don't bother mentioning it, but she's going to look really, really good. And with the original exhaust over there unrestored, it's going to really sound awesome because it will have the original sound that it had back when it left the factory, which is a beautiful sound with those 4 carbies in there. So 4 carbies, 4x4 is basically how the exhaust is described. So each carburetor has a little exhaust header that runs around the front there and runs out the back. Really beautiful system. Next up on our update list is this one, which you probably can't recognize except for the number plate. That is the 1976 Kawasaki Z900 A4. She's now got her fairing loosely fitted, so I mean loosely and securely, so it doesn't drop on the floor. This is how they were, just as you know from the other bikes that we've sent out the door. They have this fairing arrangement on them. They look awesome when they're all done. I mean, they really, really look sharp. So missing on this is obviously fit the headlight. All the wiring's done on this. Again, Andy next door needs to make the bracket to hold the sirens, the brackets to hold the lights here. Brackets hold the sirens down there. Brackets to hold the lights here. Holes for the wiring already in the fairing. And then the bracket to hold the on and off switch for the lights and sirens right here. So same as the other one, it'll actually sit right there, and we'll tidy up the wiring. Other than that, the bike needs plumbing for the fuel tank. Carbies are already fitted to this, obviously. Reproduction exhaust and bright work has all been done on this. Electrics are all absolutely sorted. The final piece, again, this is an Andy piece from next door. We need pannier hangers here, and they're a little bit weird. They're not the same as they were fitted to the Mark II, which is this one. They're also not the same as were fitted to the 650, which is that one. So they're kind of a combination of the two. This is a nice touch as well. This is the Koni period correct shock that these bikes were fitted with by the police. So this is in really good working order. And they look beautiful, I've got to say. These bikes, when they're all sorted, even though it's a drum in the back and a single disc up the front, they just sound the business. And the owner of this one, who came up and saw it before Christmas, is very excited to see it done. So that's the updates in terms of what we've been working on. Minor update as well, probably just worth mentioning. The front mudguard for these 1981 Z1100 came in, so we fitted that. It's not going to be that color, obviously, but great to have that in. Period correct. You know, you can see the 80s gold pinstripe on there, which of course we're going to get rid of, and that'll be Kawasaki Racing Green. The rear mudguard should be here this week, I think, so they weren't fitted with the chrome one. This is off a 750. They actually have the same shape, but the Z1100 one stops about there and it's black, so that should be here. And we've got various bits and pieces obviously going on this one. The engine's being rebuilt by BC Performance. Shout out to BC Performance, thank you fellas, appreciate that. And then the other update, which also involves BC Performance, is this 1979 Kawasaki Z650. Now this is already sold. It's kind of an interesting project in that it's a bitzer, so you know, sort of bits and pieces from everywhere. But we had a really good result, as you know, in the last video, finding the correct generator. I've now got the correct handlebar controls, again, which will require the little switch. So I've refurbished all of this. We'll put all this back together. We need to locate a speedo because mysteriously neither this one or the other one had a speedo included in the set, so God knows where they went. But the electrics are all good on this. We've got a steering lock, seat lock, and ignition that are all original Kawasaki parts, which is really good. Reproduction brake master cylinder, brakes are all refurbed, ready to go. This is going to be a really fun project. That's probably delivery late in the year, but we're now really moving forward in terms of completing stuff and getting it out the door, so it's very exciting. One other thing just worth noting is you'll see there's no stand, there's no lift under here. That's because the center stand that I purchased used from Japan, which we sent out and had blasted and 2-packed, came back and we fitted all Brightwork and spring to it. So she's standing up on her own feet for the first time in, I don't know how long, but it would be a very, very long time. So it's a very good thing. Also, chain fitted on this one, so rear wheel assembly is completely back to how it would have been with all the correct spacers. That was kind of an adventure, so very glad that we got that out of the way. So a few other things to do, like I say, final tidy up, chain on this one. We're ordering the same chain for this one. We need a chain cover or chain guard for that and this one as well, because they just get chewed up. We're very, very close having this out, hopefully before the shop closes for our Chinese New Year break, or should I say Lunar New Year break. We will have shipped this one, depending on how quickly this screen comes back, of course, and we should have shipped this one depending on how quickly the paint comes back. So good segue into the shop being closed for Lunar New Year. So happy Year of the Dragon, everybody. We will be gone from about the 6th, I think it is, the 6th of February until the 5th of March. So it's a whole month. We're zooming all over China, Beijing, Guangzhou, Chengdu, Songyuan, all these sorts of places. It's going to be really fun. So we're attempting to get this one and that one out the door along with the Yamaha in the back before we go. And that way there's a little bit of pressure removed from when we come back. Also, and really, really big news, we are potentially going to be moving into a permanent premises. So that deal is being worked out as we speak. I've made an offer on a place in the neighborhood, so very, very close to here, but much bigger than this. So this is 75 square meters downstairs, and as you can see, it's cozy. I'm going to go with cozy. And then we have another 50 squares upstairs on this mezzanine that is useful but not particularly accessible. The place that we've made an offer on is 250 square meters, single story, with a 7-meter roof. So quite a lot more to play with. So stay tuned for updates on that. Wishing you all a very, very happy 2024. Thank you for all the positive comments and support throughout the year. And hopefully the Year of the Dragon is one that finds you healthier, more wealthy, more filled with happiness, and just generally loving life for all it's worth. My absolute very best to you. I'll try and put a couple more videos up before I leave, but here's the update for the weekend. Hope you like it. Feel free to leave comments and we'll see you soon in the next video. Cheers.